Oh, hey, hi, Thoa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you over there?
Oh, so good, so good to see you and cook with you today. I'm so glad that you're gonna show me how to make this dish.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited to learn. Yeah, excited to learn something new. So what are we making today?
Well, we are making Vietnamese stuffed tofu with meat, pork, and mushroom. It's one of our my favorite family menu dish that we make. You know, it's a go-to comfort food, and it's really easy. Doesn't require a whole lot of ingredients, so very
Okay,
tasty.
cool. All right. Well, why don't we start cooking then? Tell me what the first steps are.
Okay, but I got a block of tofu. Okay, and it's being dried out a little bit, pat dry with paper towels. And I'm going to cut it in half, exactly in half.
So I have a 14-ounce pack of tofu.
Mhm.
And what type of tofu should people use?
I always like to use the firm one. If you just get the
Okay,
firm one, it would be fine because it's a
firm
little bit more
tofu.
denser. Yep. Meanwhile, we're going to try to fry the, I'm going to turn on the heat high. Probably I'm going to use around 3 tablespoons of, like either you have vegetable oil, canola oil, I'm using almond oil. Just,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I've never used almond oil.
I know.
Is
I
it very nutty? I'm using just canola oil.
never used almond oil till now, and it's actually pretty good. It doesn't taste
Okay.
nutty. It just tastes like normal oil. So I'm waiting for the heat to get heat up, and then I'm going to fry it. So what we want to do is to brown all sides of the tofu, except the short end.
And
Yeah,
how long are we letting it fry?
you
Like,
know,
what are we looking for?
I think the total time could be 5 to 7 minutes. I'm just going by eyeing it. So when I feel like it's nice light brown color, then I would start to flip. And you know, there's another option of this. You could buy pre-fried tofu at
Oh,
the
okay.
grocery
Pre-fried.
store,
Sure.
and then you can skip this step. But I just find that just make it at home. I just don't like too many pre-made stuff.
Well, it's also fresher because sometimes the fried tofu, you just don't know how long it's been sitting in the store and it
Exactly.
could be a little bit rancid. That's going, what's the next step after that?
Yeah. So
As that's cooking.
yeah. Let's I'm gonna start cutting some vegetables, getting it ready. So I got 4 Roma tomatoes.
So how are we cutting these up?
So I am going to have you slice them half and then just wedge it.
Okay, so cut these in wedges.
Yeah.
We can't forget our tofu. So I think mine
Yeah.
is ready to turn.
Is it getting brown? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's nice.
mine's ready
That's a
to
nice
turn.
color. Right. No,
I
don't
mean, we
forget.
haven't. Okay.
Yep. We
All
can
right.
eat out of that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna finish slicing these tomatoes.
Okay.
And
And
then
what should I cut?
I'm gonna start cutting the onion as well, the round onion.
So thinly sliced, like a quarter inch or eighth of an inch?
I would say quarter inch.
Quarter inch. Okay.
I'm gonna flip my tofu, stand ready on the other side now. Smash two cloves of the garlic.
So just are we chopping or how are we cutting the garlic?
Yeah, I'm gonna smash them and then just chop them. So my tofu is almost done. And the next thing I'm going to do is cut the 2 stalks of green onion. I'm only using the white part for the meat now. I'm looking into the meat now. The tofu is resting, so we're going to just mince the white part of the 2 stalk onion, like that you have there. I'm going to add it into my 2 ounce of ground pork. The what do you call that?
Kurobuta
Kurobuta.
ground pork. Well, it could
Yep.
just be any ground pork. It doesn't have to be the kurobuta, right?
Right.
Kurobuta is
Exactly.
just a type of ground pork, heirloom ground pork, but we don't have to have that. It's just whatever ground pork you have. Could they
Right.
use a different meat, like say beef or chicken if they wanted to? What else could you do in this filling?
You know what? It is so versatile. You can do ground chicken. You can
Okay.
do pork with shrimp. You can do just vegetable like, portobello mushroom, just vegetable. You can do, only seafood if you just want shrimp.
Okay. I see you have moved on to a different ingredient. What are you cutting up now?
Okay, so I am also chopping up some wood ear.
Some wood ear mushrooms, which
Yep,
we
soaked into
soaked
hot
in
water.
advance.
Right.
Yeah. So how much wood ear?
For me, because mine is really big, I took 2 of the big ears.
Okay.
So it's
And
about a small handful that I'm going to chop up. Another fun thing is if you have some jicama or water chestnut, you can dice and put that in there too, just
great.
whatever
So
you can find.
okay, so something crunchy, could be jicama, could be water chestnuts.
Right. So now we're going to work on this. This mixture is ready, but we are going to work on the tofu. The block of tofu we have, we're going to cut it diagonal into an angle shape. Cut in half. I'm going to carve out the tofu part. So it's almost like half an inch, I think, or a quarter inch, depending how much meat you want to stuff. I don't like mine too much meat,
Yeah.
So I like a little bit of, but some people like it more, then they would carve out more, right?
Okay, so just take a small
slit out. You could also
just
use
kind
a
of dig
spoon.
it out.
Yeah, you can use a spoon too if you want. Like going like this, but
just very gently.
Yeah. And then what we're going to do with this excess is we're going to chop it up or smash it, and we're going to add back into the meat mixture, so we don't waste anything.
All right, that's smart. So we'll cut up these pieces, set it aside. That will go back in. Okay, so I'm continuing to dig out the middles of these.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat with the other pieces. Yep. Great. And I did not have any firm or medium firm tofu, so I ended up using a soft tofu. It is not silken, but it's soft. So it's a little bit, it'll work, but it is very finicky. So you said to chop up the extra bits, right?
Yep. Let's just like mash it, smash it with your knife. Just get it to be in smaller pieces.
Okay.
And I'm just going to add it back into the tofu, into the meat mix. And then I'm going to season this. So you kind of have to season it a little bit heavier because it's the saltiness into this tofu. Otherwise, it would be a little bit too bland. Okay. Half a teaspoon of salt. Well, maybe that's too much. A little bit less than that. Not all of it.
So a quarter of a teaspoon of salt?
Yeah. A couple pinch of black pepper, and I'm actually going to put a teaspoon of fish sauce.
Oh, a teaspoon of fish sauce. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about the fish sauce? What kind are you using? Is there
actually I'm using the 3 crab. Yeah, I'm using 3 crab.
Okay, and that's a pretty good, well-known brand.
It is for the Vietnamese, but you know what? I also heard that the red boat is excellent.
Well, guess what? I have the red boat.
I know. I love that.
So that's the one that I'm using. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So mix that. I've got the fish sauce, salt. Anything else?
Nope. That's it. If you want to, I do sometimes. I add a little bit of oyster sauce, like a quarter teaspoon. Just a little flavor, right? Just that little good mild punch to the flavor, right? Okay, and then I'm going to start stuffing it. Can you see it? Okay, so I'm
Yes,
going
I
to
can see it.
start putting it in there. There we go. And then continue to do all 4 of them.
How full should I stuff these?
Try to push it in as much as you can. And then
Without
use the spoon. Yeah, without breaking it.
Without breaking it.
Yeah. I mean, I got firm, but you got soft, so.
Yeah, they're starting to groan a little bit, but that's okay.
Right.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be nice
And
and
I kind
nice
of
and
put a
tender.
little hump over it, so just make it stuff a little fuller.
Okay.
And then after this, we're going to start working on the tomato sauce.
Can you tell me a little bit about fish sauce? And I mean, it's such an essential flavor in Vietnamese cooking. So I don't know.
So
what can you tell me about fish sauce?
So fish sauce is like what we use in Vietnamese Thai cooking, right? It's basically just fish and salt, but it has nutrient and mineral. You know, it actually have vitamin A and D on it. And there's a process that they go through to make this fish sauce, but it's almost like a wine. You know, it literally take like 6 months to 8 months total to go through different process. But eventually, it need to have all water evaporate from the fish. So it's the essence of the fish and salt left. And so, it's just fermenting. Then they gotta wait for it 6 months to, you know, literally turn into the breakdown of the fish into the salt. And then they gotta put it like that, take like 6 months. And then they gotta put it into a strain and let it drip slowly into this ceramic bowl. And then they gotta take that bowl and leave it out in the sun and let it take all the liquid out for like maybe another month or so. And then
it's quite the process.
You have to age it and all that, and then it becomes fish sauce. Okay, so I think we're ready to start making the sauce. Add maybe like 2 tablespoons of oil onto a mid-size pot. At this point, I'm going to add the garlic.
So are you not afraid that the garlic will burn? Are we just adding it for just a minute?
Yeah, because I'm going to actually add in the onion right after it.
Oh, okay. So once we add the garlic, just add the onions right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let that cook for... my onion's too good. So let that cook for until it's, you know, start to have the fragrance, right?
So I'm just stirring this around in the oil to make sure that it's all nice and coated. Cook it until it gets really fragrant and starts to soften.
Right.
It'll start to soften. Okay.
Yep. It's starting to, I feel like it's starting to cook a little bit. Now I'm just going to add the tomato because I do want it to cook down
together. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll add the tomato.
Tomato.
Okay.
Well, your screen looks pretty good, so people can actually watch your screen as well.
Well, we also want to see what's in your pot, so you can just put the camera over and tell us what you're doing.
Yeah. So what I'm doing now, I'm just basically letting it sweat a little, you know. So we probably do this for maybe a couple more minutes before I can add. We're gonna add a little bit of liquid, like water or chicken broth.
All right. So we'll let that cook for a couple minutes.
And I can start smelling it a little bit now. Now, doesn't Chinese also have a dish with tomato?
We have lots of dishes with tomatoes.
Right. Tomato with
one
eggs.
One of my favorites is tomato eggs, actually.
I know.
You're right.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put this camera down because
okay.
I think it's going to be ready to add a little water right now. Okay. I think last time we were talking about a cup. So almost cover the tomato, but not quite. So I'm going to move my camera now. So when it starts to cook down a little, then we're going to add the seasoning, which only take just fish sauce, basically, and just a little sugar to take down the tart from the tomato. And
okay, so how much fish fish sauce are we talking about?
I'm looking at maybe 3 tablespoons, and then we're gonna retaste it again.
Okay, so I'll start with 3 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Fish sauce, because fish sauce, I mean, it can, if you get it on your fingers, it can be pretty overpowering. Okay, so I added the fish sauce, 3 tablespoons.
And maybe like a half teaspoon of sugar.
A half a teaspoon of sugar. Okay.
Yep, good. You know, for me, I'm gonna add just a little bit more fish sauce, but it's all up to your preference. Yeah, and basically you want this sauce a little bit more saltier than you would because you want it to soak into the tofu. I mean, it's gonna need to season the tofu.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
right.
I taste the seasoning in that.
So I'm gonna stir it up a little bit, and then I'm going to start putting in the tofu. Can you see this?
Yep.
I'm gonna face it down.
Okay, so meat side down
Yep.
into the sauce. All right.
This is smelling really good now.
Oh, it smells incredible. That fish sauce with the tomatoes and onions.
I love that.
It's incredible.
And then I'm going to let it simmer, and I'm going to close the lid. And then I'm not going to turn it down yet, so I'm going to let it bring up the heat just a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it down.
Okay.
And we probably want to do this for like 10 minutes. Hey, pretty easy, huh?
It is pretty easy, yeah. So while we're waiting for the simmer, maybe talk a little bit about your restaurants, because maybe not everybody knows, but you have chinoise.
Well, chinois actually is a word for Chinese. It's French.
It's French for Chinese, right? Yes.
Yeah. And I just love that word, but I actually spell it differently than it's supposed to. It's supposed to doesn't have an E ending, right? But I want to make sure it has an E ending so that you can relate more to the word Chinese. Out of it, one word, I was thinking about chinois barbecue pork. And then the name just thought, like, wow, that's a great name, you know? So that's how it come about. Isn't that funny?
So what do you serve at Chinois?
Well, we actually have a full sushi bar, which is lots of people love our sushi bar. We also have Vietnamese, Thai, Chinese, Japanese, and it is not a fusion menu. So we have all traditional because it's such a big menu, you know. And so basically, you know, whatever we serve, it's traditional. You know, and then the idea that you can come to the restaurant and have different Asian food. I'm going to turn this down a little bit to let simmer for 10 minutes.
So I should turn it down. Okay.
And yeah, and we've been open since 1996. It's been great success, and we just love Seattle. Seattle-like people are just great. They really enjoy, the diversity of the food, and so it's been a really good venture for me.
And you all are doing takeout still, though, right? Even with all the closures and stuff. Okay.
Exactly. We are 12 to 8. From 12 to 8, we're doing to go. Lots of support from all of our regulars and customers. It's been really, it's really nice.
I'm so glad the community is supporting you. That's great.
Yes. The community has been overwhelmingly, you know, just pouring in with their support, and everyone coming in saying how they're happy that we're open, and we're just saying happy that they're coming out and getting to go, you know, and support us.
So the other fun fact about you is that you were on Bobby Flay's show, and you actually beat Bobby Flay.
That's right.
Yay! Remind me what year that was. How long ago was that? It was just a few years ago.
This is 2015.
Really? Was it that long ago? 5 years ago?
It seemed like 2 years ago, but it's actually May 2015. And the episode was Homeland. Don't ask me why they come up with that name, but
because you're Asian.
I know.
So what was the challenge? Yeah, what was the challenge?
The challenge was bibimbap, Korean dish, right? And so I was like, okay, well, can I do something Vietnamese, right? But they say, no, we want you to do bibimbap, you know? So
they picked you. They know you're Vietnamese, but then they told you to make bibimbap? That's crazy.
I know it was fun, but that was a fun recipes to develop.
Sure. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you signed a bunch of
Oh yeah.
non-disclosure agreements, but what is there any of the behind the scenes that you're allowed to talk about? Like, you know, how long was the process, for example?
What the screening process was almost like
Yeah,
a
a
year,
year, a
a
year-long
year. I
screening
mean,
process. That's
it
crazy.
was worse than the IRS. I mean, seriously, they want to make sure I will survive the challenge or something. I don't know. I went through, oh, this is looking good, Hsiao-Ching. So I'm going to open up the lid now.
Okay, I'm gonna check mine too. Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
It
no, it's perfect.
looks really
Great.
thick and stew-like.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's
Are
yours
we,
looking? Yours looking really good. So here's
how does
mine.
that look? Does that look okay?
Yours looks
Okay, I see
really
yours.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to, do we need to reduce the sauce or anything? Or is it a soupy
No, I
dish?
think it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
But you can cook it just like a minute or so more, and then we can turn it off.
Oh, okay. Do I need to crank up the heat at all or just leave it?
Mine is bubbling, so I'm good. But the fun thing about that show, and no one knows, Chao-Ching, and I think it's
Uh-huh.
fine for me to say it, is that there was 2 challenge, and I got finished like always early. Then
So
the
you
time
finish your uh-huh.
early, and then I was like trying to clean the kitchen or something, you know. And there was just like, but they didn't want it to look like that, of course, right? So they edit like I was running out of time, right?
So you weren't actually running out of time. They just
No, it
made it
wasn't.
look like you were running out of time. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
The magic of television, right?
exactly. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that.
Oh, whoops.
So how's it tasting?
Oh, it's wonderful. I love the acidity from the tomatoes and that base kind of that richness. And then the fish sauce just adds so much dimension to the flavor.
I know. I
Do
just
I
there's something about that fish sauce and that tomato and that yellow onion, ground brown onions. It
Yeah.
makes it that sweetness, but then that pungent at the end, right? That you don't get from other sauce.
Even fresh, hard winter tomatoes that aren't
It'd
as
be
juicy,
fine. Yeah.
they still work.
Still good.
Well,
Yeah.
it's worked here, yeah, for
Right.
sure. And
Yeah.
I can imagine that the summer, yummy summer tomatoes
Oh,
that were ripened by the sun, like that would increase the flavor of this by tenfold, I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
This this
Okay.
this this dish easy, and you can whip it out as long as you have tofu and some sort of protein you want to stuff it in with mushroom, and you're
Cool.
done.
All right. So is this done?
Yep,
Are
we're
we
done. We're gonna serve this with
okay?
rice.
And just carefully ladle this out.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. This just looks amazing. I'm excited to taste this. I've never actually had this dish before, believe it or not.
It's very traditional, so you probably will not see this at the restaurant, because it's home cooking, right?
And
But
that's, I
very
feel
healthy.
like there's a whole world of home cooking,
I
especially,
know.
from different cuisines that people
I
are
know.
missing out at because it's not restaurant food.
Right.
So I'm extra grateful that you showed me this home cooking dish. Almost need like a soup bowl or something here. It's very saucy. Okay.
Very healthy, tasty.
Oh, wow.
Now try.
The soft tofu is a little bit harder to work with because it's so delicate, but
Yeah.
it is so creamy on the other end.
I'm gonna have to
So
try that.
creamy. But I would probably do more of a medium firm tofu, so then you get
Okay.
the best of both worlds, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's so good. Wow. Well, this was really delicious, and I'm so grateful that you let me into your kitchen and taught me this dish. What's the official name again?
Okay, it's Vietnamese stuffed tofu with pork in tomato sauce. Or you can say that in Vietnamese. Let me say, oh my God, what is it? Tofu Nguyen.
I don't think I would be able to repeat what you just said.
I
I would
know,
have to
no,
listen to it 10 times. I got the tofu part.
I know. Isn't that funny? Tofu sounds.
Tofu's the same. Yeah. Well, thank you so
Wow.
much, Twa. And
Well,
I'll
nice
see
to
you
spend
next
time with you.
time. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Cut.